How's it going today, everybody, and welcome back to Shaner's Mechanic Life. Today I got this Dewalt 1400 amp boost pack dropped off to me. The only thing they said is it's dead, it doesn't work. You look at it, you know, no buttons work, doesn't power up or anything. Now something like this, they're very handy to have. Like, it's got 1400 amp boost pack, 120 psi air compressor. It's got two 3.1 amp USB outlets. You know, it's got a work light on the back. Definitely something you want to, keep in the trunk of your car or in your wife's car. Now, natural instinct is when something like this stops working, you throw it out and buy a new one, right? Anyway, in this video, I'm going to show you some common issues with these units, how to open it up, and what to look for once you're inside. Let's face it, you're already prepared to throw it out and buy a new one. Why not open it up, take a look? It might be something cheap and easy to fix. If you can fix it for cheap, then you can take that saved money and put it towards new tools or take your wife out for dinner. It's up to you. New tools. Anyway, here we go. Now to open these up, it's actually quite straightforward. What you got to keep in mind is there is a battery in it and you don't know how charged it is, so there's always an electrocution risk. So you just got to take your time and be safe. What you want to do is take all these screws out all the way around. Now once you do, just get a screwdriver, kind of pry the two halves apart. Get the two halves separated. Might be a bit of a fight. There's little clips that'll hold it together sometimes. So that's the inside there. Like I said, the more options you have, the more that's happening on the inside. But here's your battery. So first thing, you want to check the voltage of the battery. Get your multimeter, put the negative on the negative battery, and check for voltage at the positive. As you can see here, we've got 12.4 volts. A fully charged battery is 12.6 volts. So it looks like this battery is actually charged. We've got some sort of other issue going on. You want to get in there, check your connections. Make sure everything's clean, tight, which they are on this. Just take a general look around. See if you see any broken wires or wires are popped off, or a lot of times you can smell if something's burnt. That doesn't seem to be the case here. Now next, you want to look around for any kind of circuit protection like breakers or fuses, which we have here. You can see this trying to focus there. That copper strip is burnt off of it. Now, I didn't get the whole story on what happened when this stopped working, but something like this could be, hooking it up reverse polarity, or even running the air compressor too long and may have heated up and blown that. Now, this fuse here isn't your regular fuse. It doesn't blow due to excess current. It blows due to excess heat, which could have been caused by, like I said, running the compressor too long. Now, you don't want to go putting just a regular fuse in there. Well, since we can't replace this with just a regular fuse, I'm going to cut it off and take it into an electronics place, see if they can match something up. Take a look around. There may be these little electronic shops that might have these in stock and could be next to nothing for cost-wise. Now, before you go cutting anything off or disconnecting stuff, disconnect the battery. That way you don't short-circuit anything and cause more damage. More money than what you already have to spend. When you're disconnecting wires, take a picture of them or tag them, or do anything that way you make sure you don't forget what wire goes where. Because if you have to order a part, this thing may be apart for a while and you don't want to forget how to hook it back up again. So while you're in here, you might as well pull the battery right out of it. That way you can charge it Make sure it's fully charged. And you can test it. Make sure the battery itself is good. It's not your battery's disconnected. You can go ahead and cut your wire. You got these little numbers on there. That to the electronics shop, that might be the part number that they need to see. So don't lose this. I'm going to take it in and see if we can match one up. This is where your extension cord plugs into the back to charge your battery. And this is the battery charger here. Now the problem with these is if your battery gets too low on voltage, these little chargers won't even acknowledge there's a battery there, so it may not even turn on if it gets too dead. Which is why in the instructions manual they recommend that you charge it after every use and plug it in and charge it fully at least once a month. That way your battery stays at a full rate of charge and everything's ready to go when you need it. And on the outside, that's your off-on switch. And if you open it up, this is where it hooks up to the positive terminal of the battery. Again, same as the battery. You want to make sure these connections are clean and tight. And if when you open it up, you see any circuit boards, just take a good close look. See if you see any evidence of arcing, any burn marks. Again, even use your nose if you smell anything that's been burnt. So I think we'll charge up the battery fully, get a new fuse, put it all back together, and then we'll see how everything works. So far we haven't sunk a dime into this thing, so really, what do we have to lose? So when you charge these little batteries, you don't want to use just your regular everyday charger that you use in your car. They just put out way too many amps. What you want to use is one of these little battery tenders. Like this one only puts out 1.5 amps. That way you know you're not going to overheat the battery and ruin it if it's still in good shape. Okay, so the battery's fully charged. Everything seems good with that. And the thermal fuse, that was very tough to find. Couldn't find anything on the internet or even some electronics shops. One of the electronics shops gave me the number of a guy who used to work there but retired. He used to take everything apart and save everything. So I gave him a shout, showed him what I had, and he had one sitting around. So he sold it to me, and we're going to put it in and see how this boost pack works. Okay, so I got the battery installed. The new fuse is in and wired up. Well, let's turn it around. So now the painstaking job of lining everything up and getting it back together. Got to watch out for these aligning dowels. There's one on each side. So just got to make sure you line it all up nice and straight. That side. And that side. Well, now you can go ahead and put all your screws back in and give it a test. Now, I definitely don't recommend using a cordless screwdriver to put these screws back in. After all, this housing, everything's made of plastic. So if you use a power tool or something, there's a good chance that you're going to strip the screws out of it. I've got a Honda here, and the battery's completely dead. Absolutely nothing. Okay, got the cables hooked up. Turn the boost pack on. And it's running. As you can see, it's picking up, the alternator's charging. Seems to be working good so far. Let's try the air compressor. Okay, got the hose hooked up to the tire. Let's try out the compressor function. Turn it on. It's reading 34.2 psi. So let's try setting it for, go Let's just go 38. Well, the air compressor function seems to be working well. I think we got a winner. I've had a few of these jump packs apart, and more often than not, the battery's the problem. But I lucked out here and only had to put a $5 fuse into this. So if you do happen to need a battery, you can usually pick one up pretty cheap, around the $45 range. You know, this unit new goes for about 200 bucks. So by fixing this for $5 and not throwing it out and buying a new one, I'm up $195. That would be a nice dinner out with the wife or some new tools. What to do, what to do. Well, here we go. Just want to end this video by thanking one of my new subscribers, Alexander0268. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate all my subscribers. Well, what'd you think of the video, everybody? You gonna try fixing your own boost pack next time it breaks down? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit that like button and subscribe. I got more videos coming. Anyway, have a good night, everybody, and thanks for watching.